Hi guys, George from Cyprus Insight, and this week we went for a COVID test and we are positive, guys. And in Cyprus you have to isolate for 7 days, so we're indoors for 7 days unfortunately, but it gives us a great opportunity to tidy up the garden. So this morning we've started off with the umbrella plant. Well, I'll call it umbrella plant. There you go. There it is, all along here. Now I've trimmed off the top and the sides and we'll tidy up. So there we are, all tidy. Now I'm using these old big plant pots, guys, to put the rubbish in. And if you go to your local town hall, you can ask them where the local recycling place is and drop that off if you haven't got any space to have a compost heap. So that'll be dropped off sometime next week to the recycling place. Now if you are buying pots, guys, in Cyprus, these are the best ones to buy, these black ones. Okay, now these do not deteriorate in the sun, although they're not very attractive. If you buy different colour ones like these red ones, they will deteriorate in the sun. So these are the best ones, and in fact they're the cheapest. Now let me show you a couple tips. I've built a trough, guys, along here where this bush is, and planted these beautiful umbrella plants, and built this lovely trough, as I said, and I've contained the roots within that trough because it's on the boundary and next door's got a concrete floor throughout her garden. We don't want the roots going underneath and then destroying her concrete, so we've contained the roots within this massive trough. And I've lined it, I don't know if you can see, with some lino, some thick lino that I found. Okay, and I've kept the trough, if I can go around the back here and show you, I've kept the trough away from the wall. Okay, so there's approximately 10 centimetre gap all the way down, so it's not touching the wall. So that won't cause any problems, any damp problems. Okay, so we've gone all the way round with the trough. Okay, and then I found last year we had a bit of a problem here where the water was coming through the top and round, and it was staining the path and the concrete. So what I did, I cut a channel all along down here, you see, there we are. And now when the water overflows or comes out somehow, it goes along the channel down and away, and it doesn't stain the concrete. So guys, we're gonna tidy up this border here. There we are. Now we've got some succulents growing here, and that stops all the weeds. Okay, and that goes all the way round the house. There we are, some more there. See? There we go. And all the way round here. And we'll tidy up this border. Now the reason I've left a gap between the house and the concrete in the garden, it's quite simple, guys. In Cyprus there's quite a lot of damp problems in the houses, outside and inside, and you'll find it's where the concrete on the outside touches the house. Okay guys, so I've left a gap when I built the house between the stamped concrete there and the house, and that does the trick. So guys, if you've got a place in Cyprus and you've got some damp problems, this is how you can resolve it. You don't have to plant things inside, you can just leave it as dirt, or you can put pebbles. Let me show you an example of the concrete touching the house. Here I should have left a little gap between the steps and the concrete. Well, I didn't do. The concrete went right up to the steps, and there we are. We've got a little bit of damp problem just on the edge there. It's not a lot, it's just on the step, so I think we've got away with that. So let's tidy up the edges, shall we? So guys, I've trimmed the edges. There we are, all the way around here and here. There we are. And I'll get the broom and sweep up. So guys, being in the property maintenance business, I often get asked, could I put in a reliable, reasonably priced watering system for my garden? And the answer is, of course. Right, so I've just done the borders of my garden, and I've taken these old pipes out. They're redundant, they're old and they need replacing. So I've taken them out, guys, just to show you guys how to put in the watering system and how much does it cost. Right, let's first start off with the timer, shall we? Now the best timer I found was one of these. There we are. Now the only place that I know sells these in Cyprus is the Super Home Centre in Larnaca. They're very inexpensive, they're the cheapest ones you can buy, but they're really reliable and very simple. You just put the frequency there and the running time, and that's it guys, your battery's going here. They're really reliable. I've had one of these for about 3 or 4 years and it's never gone wrong. Okay, so once you've purchased one of these, by the way, you can pick up a very similar one, probably different make, from eBay. Now if you wanted a more sophisticated timing system, you can pick that up from any DIY shop, guys, in Cyprus. Same with these pipes and fittings. So as I said, go to any DIY shop to pick up all this stuff. First of all, the pipe. This is very inexpensive, guys, this pipe. I think it's 18mm or 20, and it's quite thin. There we are, can you see? Okay, so this is pipe you need for the garden, and it's doesn't take much pressure, doesn't need much pressure, so you only need the thin stuff, and it's about 50 cents a metre, if that, guys. So it's very inexpensive, and if you buy a whole roll 20 meters or above, you'll get a discount. Right, now the fittings that go with it, you can choose whatever you like, guys. There's lots and lots of different stuff that goes with it. First of all, these little watering bits that go on the end, and they trickle out and you can adjust those from there. Okay, and then you can get some smaller ones of those. I haven't got any here at the moment. And then the little pipe. There we are, there's a little pipe. There we are. One end comes like that, and the other end sometimes has one of these, or the same as that. Okay, you can buy them all different lengths, or you can buy it by the meter. Okay, right, now I'll show you how to connect the watering pipe. Here I've got a short one here already done. That's that bit at that end that comes ready, and I've installed this little trickling thing at the end. Right, so let's get a bit of pipe, and what I'm going to do, guys, I'm going to use a drill to drill the hole. Now it's a bit risky using a drill because you can go right through the whole lot. You can buy a little hand tool, you just twist it and it'll make the hole for you. That's a lot better if you're not used to it, and they only cost €3 or €4. But I'm going to use the drill. Okay, it's about a 5mm drill bit. 4mm will do, even 6. Doesn't make much difference. Right, so what I do is I drill the pipe, being careful I don't go right through. Okay, a little bit of pressure. Slips sometimes. There we are. There we go. Now straight out, guys. Okay, so there's the hole. Right, so you can buy these little red things, sometimes they come black, little connectors. Okay, and they're like 5 cents each, something like that. You buy a pack of 10 for like 50 cents, something like that. Now you can push it in with your hand into the hole, but I find that quite difficult. So what I use is a pair of ball nose pliers. You see, just clip it like that and push it into the hole, and you'll hear it click. There you go, and that's in. And that will not leak, guys. It won't leak all the way around, don't worry. Okay, next stage, we'll get our pipe. Now this one we want a short one. As I said, you can buy them in all different lengths, and you can change the top end. Just cut it off here, and you can put different stuff on there, that sprinkles. Just ask the DIY shop what you fancy. You can get a little sprinkler that spins around and throws water everywhere. Oh, this is quite nice. Push it into the ground and then it slowly comes out the top. So it's all different things you can attach to the little black pipe. Okay, I've put this one on, and then all you have to do is on the other side, there it is with the little black plastic, just push it in. There you go, all set to go. So your pipe's only about 50 cents a metre, if that. These are around about 30 to 50 cents each, and these are around about 10 cents each. So we are talking about very little money. Right, guys, so if you want to join two pieces of pipe together, okay, maybe it's run out of pipe or you've damaged a bit, and just cut it. Now I've got this special pipe cutter there, and that just cuts it, or you can use a knife. Now if you want to join the two pieces together, as I said, you can use these very inexpensive connectors. This is a L-shaped one. You can get them in all sorts of shapes. You can get 3 or 4 or just straight connector. And what you do, guys, you heat up this pipe here, get your kettle, boil up some water, put it in a mug or whatever, put it into the water, warm up the plastic, and then push this into there. So guys, here we are at the car park area, and the sun's round the other side, so we can work in the shade on this side of the house. Now here on top is passion fruit, guys. There's the flower and there's the fruit, and this is a very vigorous plant. I planted this about 3 years ago, maybe 4, and you can see how thick it is. There's the stem, look at that size of that, it's enormous. So there it is, it goes over the car park area and onto the house. And what I've done, I've put some kind of wire going across and just barely make it out, and the whole plant hangs on that. There's lots of wires going across the house. And can you see how thick the main stem is just there? Now guys, with passion fruit you've got to be careful, it does go mad, and this one is enjoying the little compost area that it's got down below. Look, and we're going to trim it right back. Now every month you need to trim this plant right back as much as you can. So that's our next job. So guys, as you can see, I'm hacking away at this passion fruit. I'll take you up and show you what I'm doing up the ladder. There, I'm trying to hack away all this stuff. Look, there's tons of it. Okay, it's gone on that roof up there, all round here. Well, that gate gives us some good shade. It has gone rather mad, look. So I'm going to hack away at it, probably tomorrow as well. And I'm going to leave these great big branches. There we are. And I'll leave them. There's another big one over there, look. I'll leave those and see what's left. And maybe I'll fix some of these wires that are running across the car park area. So guys, I'm slowly hacking away at this passion fruit plant. There it is. But as you can see, the sun's right above us at the moment, so I'm going to abandon this project at the moment until about 3-4 o'clock this afternoon, so I can do it in the shade. In the meantime, I can come back to the garden at the back and see what other jobs there are to do. Right, so we've got some shade on this side of the garden, guys, so we'll work on this side. Along here I did have quite a few of these conifers, and they're quite nice on the big black pots, so the roots don't go next door or onto the wall and damage the wall. I kept everything in these black pots. Now these 3 pots here, I replaced the conifers with some climbers. So that one's got the passion fruit, and this one here, it's got this beautiful flower. Same with this one over here. There it is, and that's climbing up. Right, so I've replaced these 3 pots, took away the conifers, and I've put this beautiful flower here. It's a climber. I put lots of bamboo around so it climbs and covers up this whole area. Nice. I do believe it's a jasmine, Pandora jasminotus or something like that. Okay, so that's what I've got in these pots. Pots are behind these succulents, guys, and they make some fantastic ground cover. They prevent all the weeds coming up. They cover the whole pot, so that's really nice. And you've got some fantastic flowers coming off them, so you can pick these plants up anywhere, guys. And another thing I did, guys, is I went down and to the metal fabricator, and I had these troughs made. There they are. You see they go all the way around. Okay, and I've put them on a bit of wood on the bottom so they don't rot can't have them sitting on the floor. There's some battens of wood underneath there, and I filled them up with stones and pebbles. I went down to Capo Greco, lots of stones and pebbles down there. Look, there's a big stone, there's the pebbles at the back. Okay, and that keeps the pot moist. Now I know #1 rule of gardening, you shouldn't have plants sitting in the water, the roots will rot, but I just thought, you know what, go against the grain, have a go, see what happens, and it's quite successful. The water is kept in here, there's some water in there, can you see? So this pot is always damp, and looks like these succulents love it, and also these jasmines, they're doing really well. In these two I've got some trees there, kept the trees, and they're doing reasonably well as well. Lots of succulents in the pots. This one didn't do as well on the top, it didn't like it for some reason or another. Maybe it is too wet for it, didn't like it, so I'm going to cut the top off this one. Right, I've just trimmed back those pots, didn't do a lot there. Now I'm at the front of the house. As I said before, the sun's at the back, and so we've got lots of shade round here. Here we are, and work at the front until the sun goes round this direction and hits the front of the house. Right, so we've got more of this jasmine here. Here it is, and that is coming from down here, guys, up around the arch. Okay, and then I've got it travelling along here, you see, and I put some wire across, tied it up. There's quite a few branches, there they are, they go along like that, and as it grew I just tied it up to the wire, and then if I go back a little bit, I've made it go up there and up to the balcony, so that looks really nice. This is a beautiful plant, it's green all year round, and it grows really easy in Cyprus. There we are, all the way around, so I've got to trim that back a little bit. So guys, this is definitely not the right time of the year to be stripping down the passion fruit, because it did have quite a bit of fruit on it, but never mind, as we're isolating and we need to get this down, we've attempted to take most of it down. Now what I'm hoping to do is keep these big branches. Can you see we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them, and I'll keep them and try and keep it under control, keep it just here in the middle, because either side I've got jasmine growing, and that's what I want to dominate the area, the jasmine. Of course the passion fruit grows like mad, and that swamped the whole lot, so I'm hoping to keep it under control. If I can't, I'll cut the lot down and keep the jasmine. Now here's one of these troughs that I made, guys, and this one hasn't been covered with these succulents yet, and I've got this bottle brush tree growing in this pot, and you can see the trough. You can see all the way around, and I picked up these stones. This one's a massive one, and little ones, filled it right up with the stones. There we are. It's obviously been sealed. Get this chair out of the way. It goes all the way around the back here, you see. Okay, so I'll water this today, and that trough will fill up with water, and that will stay damp for quite a while. And it seems to like it. It's doing really well. So there you are. I think in the hot country, keeping it a little bit damp on the bottom helps feed the tree if you can't water it every day. I'm not sure, guys, but definitely you shouldn't keep roots in wet soil, and normally want good drainage. But anyway, our troughs seem to be working. So guys, we're in day 4 of our isolation, or COVID isolation. We've got another 3 days to go, and we've got an update on the garden. So there's the bush that's been trimmed. That was done on the first day. And then we've got this little valley between the house and the concrete, and that's got succulents in it. That's been trimmed and tidied up. We'll go to the car park area. This is the biggest job. We've got the passion fruit at the top here, and this green netting that was there before. And this passion fruit, as I explained, they've gone a bit mad, so I've cut it right back, guys. I've left about 5 big branches. There they are, going along here, and I'm going to try and contain it in this area here in the middle. And either side I've got jasmine growing over there and over here, and I'm going to try and dominate the whole area with jasmine. I prefer jasmine. Passion fruit can be a bit wild. There it is, and invasive. Now if I can't contain the passion fruit within this area, might be a bit too much, keep cutting it down all the time, I'm just going to get rid of it. Right, and now you can see more succulents growing around this little valley. At the moment the sun is at the back of the house, so we've got some nice shade here. There we are. And this is the little front garden. And our next job is to trim this olive tree. I did trim it before, made it a bit square, and now I'm just going to cut the top off a little bit. Okay, so that's the olive tree. And we've got this rose bush here. Right, I've got this rose bush here, guys. It's a lovely rose bush. Now some of the trees that I planted quite a few years ago, this is a lemon tree mixed with orange. Okay, so it's half lemon and half orange. There's an orange tree. There's another tree over there, an ornamental one. And they've overshadowed quite a lot of the plants around here. I don't mind that, that's fine. But I want to keep this rose bush going. So by trimming this olive tree, that was tiny when I got it, maybe that big down here somewhere. And this mixed tree, lemons and oranges, that was tiny, now it's big. So I've trimmed that one back to give a little bit of light to this rose bush, because what's happening is it's starving of light and the stems are going black. Can you see there? That one's gone black and it died back. So I'm going to give it as much light as I possibly can. I did have a rose bush there, and that's died away, and one here also died away, overshadowed by these trees. But as I said, I didn't mind. I put the rose bushes there. They did their job for 3 or 4 years. They looked really nice, but I prefer the trees. Right, I can't go to a recycling centre till Thursday, guys, another 3 days. So what I've done, I've got all the cuttings and I've bundled them up in these old bed sheets. Always keep your old bed sheets, put them in the shed. They're really handy for this sort of thing. just lay them down on the floor and then bundle everything up in your bed sheets. Ideal for putting it in the car. Keep the car tidy as well if you've only got a car. There you are. So they've all been bundled up, ready to go to the recycling place on Thursday. So guys, our isolation period tomorrow is over. We can go back out, and the garden is lovely and tidy. So what have we done? We've trimmed these trees. There we are. Some of the trees were overshadowing other trees, so that one's been trimmed. So it's that one. So it's the olive tree from this orange tree. Let's go round. We've tidied up this bottle brush tree and the little fountain underneath. We've sorted out these plants that are in these troughs, trimmed them down. Okay, and we tidied up this bush tree here. We've totally trimmed this great big bush here. There we are, nice and square. All the succulents around the house, they've been trimmed off. We've got all these cuttings to take to the recycling, guys. There we are. They're in these sheets and in the pots. We've redone some of the watering system. There's the old pipes. They're going to go to the recycling. We've cut the passion fruit right down, guys. It's only 4 stems now, and that'll come back to life soon. We've tidied up the jasmine just behind the van. There we are. The jasmines are all tidy along here. Right at the front, we've tidied up this jasmine that goes all the way around the arch towards the front door. We've trimmed back this olive tree and this orange tree, and that gives us a little bit more light for the rose bush here. So guys, hope you enjoyed that little garden lockdown. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and if there's somewhere you'd like me to go, put it in the comments below.